Okay, streaming, hopefully. Oh, what happened to my voice there? Go. Streaming, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, hey everybody, Lia Tsukino here. Welcome to a game called The Space in Between. Now this is a romance novel, and this is for the Valentine's Day special. I'm doing it tonight because it's my niece's birthday today, and we're actually going to be celebrating it on the 14th, which is Sunday, and so yeah, we'll be celebrating it then. So I'm just doing it today. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know anything about this game. I was just searching for dating simulators or romance novel games to play tonight, and this one really struck me. I found it on Steam, and it's a free-to-play. When I watched the trailer, it looked beautiful. It was amazing. I loved it. I love the watercolor aspect of the background, the scenery, even the characters. I mean, just look at the detail of the two characters we are seeing here. So I'm gonna check the settings. I'm gonna go to dialogue speed, slow. I'm gonna go to dialogue size with large because I have a hard time seeing. Credits. Oh, that's the art style and stuff. So let's start. And June, what is the answer to problem 14? You have absolutely no idea what the professor is talking about. You had spent the previous night watching anime instead of doing your homework. All of a sudden you feel a kick from the side of your desk. It's 47. A voice whispers from your right. You see Miles. After class you approach him. Thanks for that, you say, glancing at his backpack. You see a familiar pin from your favorite band. You listen to Fleet Foxes? Your first date with him is a concert or at the park. Oh my gosh. I don't know. The first concert I ever went to was kind of embarrassing. I went to a Haley Kiyoko concert with my friend, and if you don't know who Haley Kiyoko is, she's not a bad singer. I love her singing, and her songs are great. She's big into the LGBT community, and I support LGBTQ plus community. I support that community. I am, as you guys know, I am straight, I am heterosexual, but I do support my friends, and I support you guys who do watch my channel, who are in the LGBTQ plus community. I kind of got a little uncomfortable at the concert because my friend forgot to mention the fact that there would be that people were going to be there like that, and there was a lesbian couple who broke up at that concert, and I started getting hit on, and it was just kind of a little uncomfortable for me, because I had to say, I'm sorry, I'm straight, and then she kind of looked at me cross-eyed and said, why are you here then? Just out of the blue, just got anger, had a rage at that comment, at my comment. But overall, yes, I support anybody in the LGBTQ plus community, and they are very great people. I have so many friends who are in that community. I'm gonna say at a park, because a lot of my when I have gone on dates, they have been at parks. Take it they've been in group dates mostly, except for I've gone to sports games a lot. Axel, yes. Takshiro Kamen-sama. A week later, you two sit at the beach pier, listening to street performers as the sky turns from a soft pink to black. Will you be my girlfriend? You two bond over your shared taste in obscure video games or memes. Obscure video games, duh. Okay, it's not like that I don't like memes. It's just that memes can get a little too out of hand. He likes Night in the Woods, The Beginner's Guide, Florence. And the only question I have now is, when is the wedding? Girl, hold your horses. You just got to the point of him calling you his girlfriend. As the weeks go on, you discover that he is endearingly awkward, sincere, and nurturing. You like how easily your conversations flow. A consistent stream of stories, surprisingly vulnerability, and recommendation sharing. He may not have been your first best friend, but he's the most special one. I mean, Axel, you're right. 90% of our relationship is memes. But it's also games, too. Because here is this guy who notices the way you can't help yourself when you get excited, who holds you when you need it the most. You didn't realize that there was still romance in the world left for you. But here it is, big and glowing and full. You decide to celebrate by having a solo party in your bedroom, or baking every baked goods you could possibly think of. What? Girl. What? Okay, I've turned into a squeaky toy. Oh my gosh. Couldn't tell that I wasn't feeling well today. It's games and plays. Yes, for sure. Oh. I'm not that well of a cook or a baker, but I'm also not that good of a dancer either. But baked goods is probably what I would go with. And so you make mediocre banana bread, but the joy is in the refining, and so you keep trying. Your friends don't even need to ask why you're smiling so much. Oh my gosh. Is this girl just me? Well, it is technically me. He takes you to the lookout spot next to his house, to his suburban house, and you slow dance to Hannah Hunt by Vampire Weekend. Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves. Golden Hour or vampires? I don't know. Let's ask Kitty. Jack. What one do you think, huh? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? 2, he says. Baby, you don't know that you're my golden hour. I don't know if that's how you sing it. The color of my sky, you set my world on fire. And I know everything's gonna be alright. Maybe. And suddenly you understand why heartbreak and sorrow must happen. To have this joy shine so brightly. You see the neighborhood lights reflect in his eyes, and you dare to take his hand. You are now 5 months into your relationship. Continue. I can't believe you are driving us 2 hours just to go stargazing. You officially won the boyfriend lottery. Oh my freaking gosh. Won the boyfriend lottery. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry. We had to change our pipes in our sink. And so our water tastes like a clean pipe, and so it's like plasticky. Now you meet his cannibal. What? Axel! Now you meet his cannibal parents? I like driving. Plus, it'll be nice with just the 2 of us. My sense of direction is kind of questionable and there's no signal, so I don't know if that's a good thing. We did pick a good long drive playlist. The lookout spot will be pretty. It's also in the middle of the woods. If a bear tries to eat us, you're fighting it, and I'm running for help. Glad to know you're committed to our safety. I'm very committed. I'm the one devising the plan in case a bear mauls us. I'm a faster runner than you. I'll distract the bear by seducing it, and you can run into the bear, knocking it over. Then we both run away. The power of fear will motivate me to run faster. What? I don't think I want any of these options. First, okay. I don't think the bear will be easily seduced. What? You're saying I'm not pretty enough for the bear? You're telling me your own girlfriend that she's uglier than a bear? That's not what I said. Yes, but that's what you meant. I tell you, you're pretty all the time. Oh, I didn't know. What? You had a thing for bears? You want to break up with me, but you don't know how to break the news, so you're going to let me die instead. What? What? Just so you guys know, this is a new game. It just came out in January of this year. Oh. No, I do not. That's why you think the bear won't like me, because you yourself want the bear. You're crazy. We should call this the bear dating simulator instead. That is not what's going to happen. I'm so glad you're comfortable enough to share this with me. It's not true, though. The first step to getting help for your bear problem is admitting you have one. Fine, if the bear comes, I'll attack and you run. I'm glad we could agree on the plan. I too am thrilled. I don't think I've been here since I was a kid. I didn't realize how beautiful it is here. I'm so used to the city. Yeah. There's no one here. Let's set up the blanket and lay down. Oh my gosh, is this going to turn into Doki Doki Literature Club and it's going to turn into a horror game? Do you know any constellations? No, I wish I did. I always thought they were boring, so I made my own. What do you mean? I would create random shapes from the stars and then come up with my own backstory. Either a random one I thought of or something from my life. That's so wholesome. My mom said I was an imaginative kid. We could do that now. That's okay. It was a stupid idea. No, I want to. Here, let me start. I should have brought tissues. Tissues at? I'm gonna cry. This is just wholesome. I'm already wanting to cry. You're now stargazing with Miles. To form a constellation, click and drag between pairs of stars until all edges of the constellation are visible. To find more constellations, move the mouse across the edge of the screen and scroll across the night sky. Completing constellations will unlock more constellations. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be fun. heart. I see. Why a record? I always had this dream to hang a record sleeves on my wall before I went through life trauma. I thought life's problems could be solved through listening to good songs. I wish I could be that naive. Now it just represents a person I can never be again. I don't think so. A part of you, the one that gets excited over everything, is the one person is the reason I wanted to be with you. Wanted you to be my girlfriend. You're the... Okay, come on. You're the only one who constantly tells me to appreciate the beauty of the universe. Yeah, but I'm also the person where it's like one small thing goes wrong, I'm cursing the universe. I never told you this, but the first time we talked over video chat before we even started dating, my sisters already knew I liked you. Did you tell them? No, they could hear it in my voice. What could possibly be different about your voice? I sounded happy. You need to stop being so cute, or I'm going to start appreciating the beauty of the universe again. I don't think you realize how much joy you have for being alive. Isn't life always complicated? That's why we must appreciate the rare, simple moments. I don't remember the last time it felt simple. Remember when we went to karaoke? Are you talking about New Year's Eve? Yeah, didn't life feel simple then, despite everything that was happening in our lives? That night was one of the last moments I thought everything was going to be okay. When we were counting down to the new year, I really thought I was going to put my past behind. I thought there's no way this year could be bad. But here we are. I'm not one to believe in miracles, but I want to. For you. I don't need a miracle. I just want a break. I was talking to my therapist about your situation. She told me that you have to acknowledge that your worldview is influenced by your mom. Sometimes the negative self-talk isn't you. It's you mirroring your mom. What's going on with this girl? What is seriously going on with this girl? I want to give this girl a hug. I want to give this girl a hug. No freaking lie. Your therapist is onto something. She usually is. I see white rabbit candy. A Yakult. I don't know. What do you guys see? 1 or 2? What's that? It's a Chinese milk candy. Oh! My parents used to buy it for my friends and me to eat when I was younger. A rabbit is on the package of each piece. I've never seen you eat one. Right, I didn't mean to bring it up. I had a family friend who was my age. My mom would let me sleep over at her house, and her mother would give us white rabbit candy. It's weird to think about the good times growing up. As a kid, my kryptonite was Jolly Ranchers. My mom got so tired of hearing me beg. She bought me this bulky supply. I ate so many I threw up. Now I don't even want to look in the direction of a Jolly Rancher. Same. So, my favorite candy makes me think about my questionable relationship with my mother. And yours of throwing up? It seems that's the case. You know, there was this one time our Chinese school teacher was so sick. So my mom was our substitute. Everyone loved her. She'd tell stories during class. She made learning Chinese entertaining. I was so proud. Everyone told me they wanted my mom back. Ni hao wo. If her head wasn't in the way, I could probably jie. Why do you think she changed so much? That's a complex question. I'm still trying to figure out the answer to. Honestly, it's probably best that you don't know. Not to be harsh, but I don't think the answer is pretty. Knowing wouldn't change anything. She's probably going through her own issues or something. God has favorites, and I'm definitely not one of them. I don't think that's how religion works. To be fair, none of us know God, if he's even out there. I think every religious person would disagree with you. Look, God, hear me out. You're really addressing God right now? I know we have our differences, but I gotta say, you gave me a pretty hot boyfriend. You gave me a really shitty parents and questionable fashion sense. But you did well in the whole love life department. June. You can be kind of annoying sometimes, but God, please don't listen to her. With that, I gotta say, amen. Amen to that. See a camera. I was thinking, what if pictures could be more than just show you something how something looked. Let's say you took a picture of the landscape. You could also smell the fresh air. You could feel the ground. You could basically feel like you were there. You could use it that way. You could be on a call with your friend. Look at a picture of Paris while being in your own your PJs. Girl, that would be fantastic. Photojournalists would be on a whole new level. People who are in long distance relationships would love this. Do you think you could do one? I need to be optimistic about something in my life, and it's obvious not my career prospects. Seriously? What? It's better than having nothing. I think I could. I would have to have a date to look forward to that I would love to see my partner. You know, about your camera idea, I think it'd be interesting if we could do that with pictures for ourselves at different points in our lives. We could see how far we've come. Therapist would like that idea. She would. But I'm not sure I would. Why not? You're so much happier than when you said it before. Yeah, before that period, I was also happier. So it would be this disappointment that I let myself get so sad. Then some joy from seeing my improvement. That's the ebb and flow of life. And I wish life would stop ebbing so much. If we could put a barrier to be like, I'm only allowed to be this disappointed in myself, then that would be great. You have nothing to seriously be disappointed in yourself for. Oh, trust me, there are some deep-rooted regret within myself. Relatable. For sure, that is relatable. Do you think that's why we're dating? Because we both deal with things way beyond our mental capacity? Yeah, probably. I see the pond at Boston Commons. I've never been there before. It's this super pretty park that's right next to downtown. I used to go there a lot when I lived there. I wish there was a spot like that where I lived. It was just a playground, which no one really wanted to hang out at. What's so special about the Commons? I'd go at night when no one else was there. There was a quiet, calming atmosphere when there wasn't anyone. Sitting at the benches, looking at the sunset reflecting in the pond, it just felt like home. That night, before I left for college, my friends and I went to the Commons. We stayed up until 4 a.m. talking about what we would be like in college. And all we promised to keep in touch with each other. But then everything happened and I haven't talked to any of them in so long. I feel like they've all moved on with their lives. It's never too late to reach out. They probably wonder where you are. Yeah, but I kind of ghost them. When I took my quarter off, I ghosted everyone. I'm sure they understand if you explained. But it wasn't like we naturally drifted apart. Yeah, but you never know if one day you can't say sorry. I was listening to this news story about this phone booth in Japan that doesn't work. A lot of Japanese people died in the 2011 earthquake, and people started going to this phone booth to talk to the dead. Anyway, someone put a microphone in there with permission, and the NPR did this whole piece about the phone booth. I don't like to think about grief like that. I was listening to the recordings, and it was painful to hear, even as a bystander. But after that, I realized it's never too late to reconnect. The fragility of human life is terrifying. I guess you're right. I keep thinking I'll do it, but then I keep putting it off. I didn't read that one. You need to give yourself the chance to be forgiven. But doesn't that mean I have to forgive myself first? This one looks like a Christmas tree. Oh, it's a tea bag. I see a tea bag. Why is that? Asian people make tea and putting it in the make tea by putting the leaves alone. Growing up, I didn't even know that the tea bags existed. My Lao Lao never gave me white people tea. It is Lao Lao Chinese for grandmother. Yeah, we used it to drink tea on the weekends as she gossiped about the Chinese boys in our carpool group. Lao. That must be a form of Cantonese. Something. I learned Mandarin. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, what kind of tea? Jasmine, oolong. Better be jasmine, because oolong is bitter. Bitter AF. She was friends with other Asian grandmas in my area, so she'd tell me the insider tea about their lives. Get out, just leave. I know, I'm hilarious. Uh-huh. Told me that you were handsome when we met. I'm glad I have her stamp of approval. The fact that she likes you, even though you aren't Chinese, is big. Is that supposed to be an accomplishment? She grew up being taught traditional Chinese ideals, meaning you're expected to adhere to social orders. Maybe the changing generation shifted her perspective. She's really accepting of the newer generation. She actually vocalizes how she's feeling. What? What I mean is that Chinese people never express their feelings or love directly. It's always like, you know, your mom is thinking because of you. She brings you sliced fruit to your room, but my grandma does that and also says it to me. Why does that even mean? You know, like when I'm studying, my grandma will drop off apples to my room so I have a snack. That's I love you in Asian terms. They should change it to definition of love in Chinese dictionary so it means bringing produce to your door. That's so sweet. What does she think of your mom? There's this quote that says, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. I think instead it should be the opposite of hate is indifference. Because that's how my grandma fights hate. You don't think your mom hates you? You don't think your mom hates you, does she? If there's a word for my mom loves me out there of social obligation, but also despises the very air I breathe, that's it. Do you think the opposite of love is hate? The opposite of love is still hate. I think where philosophers had it wrong is that apathy is how certain people show their hate. Well, love and hate are having strong feelings about something. Indifference is the opposite. Everyone has loved and hated something at the same time. No one's indifferent and in love. My parents are indifferent to each other and in love. I see a peach. Why a peach? I always ate them growing up. When I was younger, my mom and I used to go on walks in our neighborhood. She steal peaches off the neighbor's tree. I used to live in a house where we had a really good fruit garden in the backyard. We had grapevines, raspberry vines, and a tree that couldn't decide if it was going to produce oranges or apples. Sometimes it would do peaches, but it was a good house. I loved that house. I'm sad that I don't live there anymore, because I would have had an amazing space to set up an office for gaming, for sure. Yeah, that house was really special. I grew up there. Well, technically I still grew up in this house that I'm currently living in, but it's a Chinese family thing. I feel like we all grew up watching our parents steal fruit. Isn't that illegal? My mom's not intimidated by the law. I've never heard of that. Trust me, it's a thing. I went to my Asian friends' houses. Their parents would offer me stolen fruit as a peace offering. And they would ask me what I'm studying, if I have a boyfriend, whatever I'm post with, and whether I have post-grad plans. So the whole do you have a boyfriend, girlfriend thing is universal. When I told my mom that I was dating you, she was so relieved. Really? What did she say? She asked me how old you are. What did you look like? Did you show her a picture? Yeah. What did she say? She said you were pretty. Good mom. I'm assuming it's the same for Asian families. Sentiment is the same, but the questions are different. If you were to tell any Asian mother you were dating someone, the first question would be, what's his major? How rich is his family? How rich is he? I can't take that kind of pressure. First time my high school boyfriend came over for dinner, she asked
us in Chinese. He was Chinese, every detail about his family and what he wants to be when he grows up.
Was he okay with it?
A week before I went to his house, and his mom did the same thing to me.
I'd still be terrified.
There's so many very specific parts of an Asian American culture that we just automatically understand. Like the whole fruit tree thing and dating. I was talking to Rebecca the other day about growing up as an Asian kid, and she was like, I was so embarrassed of what our food smelled like at lunch. I realized that was also me. People made fun of me because they said it smelled weird, and I guess I never realized that other Asian kids went through the same thing.
And you all relate on this?
Yeah, it's like being bullied about lunch is universal. Is universally Asian.
I never even noticed that people made digs about Asian people for that. Yeah, people made math and rice jokes. But I didn't realize that it was as intense as that.
It actually is. I have a friend who is half Japanese. Her mom is full Japanese.
And I met her in junior high. And going through junior high, high school, she would bring bento boxes. And they would smell so good, though, to me, at least, because I love the smell of Asian food. But she would bring, like, rice, sushi, and kids around them. I need to remember they're now them. Some kids around them would just go, ew, that smells gross. Why is it raw fish? Luckily for my friend, she knew how to handle herself or themselves. And goodness me, do they have a mouth? The first day I sat at the table with them and my group of friends who I met that day, they spewed out some swear words that I was just surprised about, and I'm surprised that the kids that were bullying them didn't send her to the principal's office because of the swearing and stuff. But if they did go to the principal's office, we were ready to step up to say no, the bullies were bullying her about the lunch. But seriously, it really is. Bento boxes and food from Asia is amazing. I love the smell of it. I love the taste. Might not be able to eat most of it anymore because, my stomach is 75% paralyzed. But I still love the smell. I love. It was so good. I used to be able to eat sushi too. I'm not a fan of fish, but I liked sushi. I never understood that. Yeah, I study so hard for my math classes, but I still don't do well on the tests. June, I meant... I'm messing with you. In that case, you better ace your next exam. see a Joshua tree.
Don't even remind me.
Come on.
I don't want to speak of the events of Joshua Tree.
I swear it wasn't that bad.
Look, I don't want to think that seeing your girlfriend cry needs to happen after a certain number of dates. But I feel like our third one was definitely too early. I blame you.
You're the one who said Lady Bird was your favorite film.
You're the one who brought it.
I didn't realize it was going to make you cry.
Well, you suggested 2 movies, either Lady Bird or that random sci-fi film.
How is Star Wars a random sci-fi film?
Anyway, I wasn't particularly in the mood, but I also didn't want to sound unappreciative and reject your thoughtfulness, so we watched it.
If you said something, I wouldn't have been offended. I thought it was sweet of you that you were comfortable enough around me.
My sorrow was not sweet.
I don't think that crying was embarrassing.
I don't either, but I had shared my life trauma with you before you knew my last name. Not to mention you were stone cold the entire film.
In your defense, the movie was about the relationship between the main character and her mom, and it was sort of related to your life.
You should have pretended to watch the movie, but actually stared off into the distance to prevent
the waterworks.
Don't you mean just Mia?
I kid you not. Mia doesn't cry at movies. Mia really doesn't cry at movies. She will get close to crying, but the waterworks don't come out. That's absurd.
We were at Joshua Tree, but why would you bring a movie there of all places?
I figured maybe we'd have some downtime if we were tired of hiking.
Should have brought a board game.
I don't know any.
We could have filled the free time with our amazing conversation.
June.
Just saying that. I will never live this down. On my deathbed, I will look back on my life and be all like, oh, remember that time you cried? Not just a single tear nor 2, but sobbed on your 3rd date with Miles. Oh, I will remember.
I think that's a little bit dramatic.
What's dramatic? Is sobbing during a movie where you're trying to impress the guy. My cool girl disguise was gone by the 15-minute mark.
The movie wasn't even sad at 15 minutes.
The ability to watch Lady Bird and get emotional.
You see yourself in the movie. That's the emotional thing.
My whole thought process with that movie is absurd.
What is it?
The reason I cried so much at Lady Bird isn't just that I see so much of my mom. Isn't just that I see so much of my mom in her mom. It's because they're able to reconcile at the end while I'm not able to.
Oh, June. That's a particularly valid reason to cry.
All of these books and movies where if you just wait around long enough, they'll come by. But this is my real life. One that can't be wrapped in a nice, succulent ending. There's this moment when Lady Bird goes, I wish that you liked me. Her mom replies, of course I love you. But then she's like, but do you like me? And honest to God, I don't know whether I would ask the question with like or love, because I don't
think I'm ready to hear the answer to either. June, you shouldn't be ashamed of any of that.
You know, at my high school graduation, my mom got mad at wanting a picture with my friends. She was grumpy the entire night, yelled at all of us during dinner, and straight up refused to speak to me. And it was like, I know high school graduation is stupid and meaningless, but it's like, I just wanted to have one day where I could feel like a normal kid with normal parents. But you know how Lady Bird ends. Wanting your parents to be proud of you is human. There's this one time I went to my friend Cindy's house. Her sister let me borrow her clothes and they helped do my makeup. Her parents saw us dressing up and ordered us sandwiches. We all watched a movie together. They were like, we do this every Friday. And it was like, why can't my family do something this simple without screaming at each other's throats? Why can't they let me pretend that everything's okay?
I'm never going to understand the nuances between you and your mom. But feeling frustrated over your relationship with her is normal. I don't know anyone who wouldn't be frustrated.
I guess I wanted to have something completely separate from my mom, where I didn't have to talk about her, because I know it confuses people, and I didn't want to deal with feeling misunderstood by people.
Oh, June, I'm so sorry. You're going through this.
Thanks for listening.
Always.
I see.
Oh my god. I'm crying.
You see that mountain by your house? In your neighborhood, the one we drove to last time I visited.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you remember when we hung our feet off the edge of your trunk? We talked about what we wanted in a relationship?
Yeah, you're actually the first person I've brought there.
That night solidified that I wanted to be with you.
Really?
I've dated so many guys that I had things in common with, but we've never wanted the same things. When you told me you were looking for a committed relationship, that's the first time I felt like I could really be with someone.
I love that we could talk about our feelings openly.
There's so many rules about dating that says you can't do that. You have to wait this amount of time before you text back. You can't seem like you care more. Whatever it is, refuse to participate.
I was surprised by how honest you were.
I was surprised that you were okay with it.
I'm the type of person who needs confirmation that someone likes me, or else I think I'm making it up in my head.
Then I'm your girl.
You are.
I've always thought I was doomed, and there was nothing I could do about it. Things like romance, being desired, being listened to. I didn't think those things were for me.
Why?
whenever I see cool girls who have their shit together, who have this effortless glow, I see them as versions of myself I could never be. So what if I were a guy? Why would I date me over them? Guys feel that way too. I never know what to say around girls. Too. Uh-huh. 'Cause you're so scared to talk to girls. Girls are gorgeous and smart and talented. That's terrifying. You don't sound scared when you're talking to them, and you never seem scared to talking to me. I definitely was. I've gone out with them so many flaming garbage cans. That prospect of dating someone decent is also terrifying. But you present yourself the way you are. I think about what other people view me. Anyone who claims they're truly above the opinions of others is a straight up liar. This is actually a cool mechanic of the game. I love this. I see a sunrise. That would be a perfect constellation. It's specifically the sunrise on our second date. Really? Yeah. That's really wholesome. That date changed what I had thought previously about love and relationships. I never thought I'd find someone who got me instantly. I think something so inherent as loving is something we didn't believe in. Whenever I was with someone else, I always felt like I was forcing them to validate me. The trick is to validate yourself. That shit is hard though. People have their own lives. And I always feel as a guy, it's harder to ask for affection. Yeah, I feel embarrassed to do it. But you have the world telling you that it's wrong. I don't know if you remember, but we were taking turns making assumptions about each other, and you were like, a lot of people may not notice it, but you're actually quite thoughtful. I didn't think that anyone noticed the effort I put in. You remember things I said months ago. When you hear a good song, you tell me it reminds you and me. Of course, I think you're very thoughtful. When you said that, it wasn't just a nice compliment. I felt like I was seen. I didn't want to just see you. I wanted to see you as you are. I never really thought people cared enough to try. I barely made any friends my first year of college, and I basically lost all of them the next semester when I took time off school for my depression. I was struck in my hometown while all of my high school friends were somewhere else for college, which basically just made it turn worse. You were taking care of yourself, which is the best thing you could have done. A lot of my friends didn't get it, because they knew me as this happy person, and everyone moved on from me when I stopped putting in effort. It was barely better than the time I took off. I bet they didn't know what to say once they realized you changed. So then I met you, and you kept talking to me, even though I was pretty awkward. I felt like I finally had someone. I didn't realize I had that impact on your life.
I've tried to fit in a lot. I joined the school newspaper. I tried to talk to people in class, but I never felt like I belonged. They all just tolerated me. But you made an effort to see me for who I am.
I kind of had this thing. It's called a crush on you.
Well, you came into my life right when I needed it the most.
It's funny you say that, because I felt like meeting you was the universe's way of being like, here's something your way for the shit we've put you through.
When we first met, I figured you found me annoying. When I was more preoccupied by thinking I was more annoying you.
We should have just been honest with each other.
I was too much of a wuss with you, to be honest.
We all have our wuss moments. Sorry, I can clarify. Many factors, including your wussiness, contribute to your lack of communication.
You're going to confront me by saying you're a wuss too?
This in solidarity. How long is this game? Book. Yeah. Talking is really drying out my throat.
I see my journal because it was the only thing that brought me comfort when I took time off school. And I think it deserves its own constellation.
You don't strike me as a journal person.
My therapist makes me write in one.
If it's that important to you, then I think it deserves a constellation too.
It's been almost a year since I took a semester off. I've been thinking a lot about that time in my life.
What have you noticed?
I realized how much better my life would have been if I hadn't been depressed those 2 years.
You only took a semester off, though.
I lost time. My lost time doesn't include when I took time off school. It was the entire duration of my depression.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I realized how much better I would be now if I spent those 2 years. I wasn't in college productively. I wasn't the type of person that anyone wanted to be friends with. Sorry. I had all of my goals that I put on hold. Now that I'm finally getting better, I could have done so much more.
You can't control that. You had depression, so it isn't your fault.
Right, but no one told me that I could never make friends or make progress on my dreams. I did it to myself. Obviously not intentionally, but it still happened.
You're doing great things now, though. You're back at school, you have me, and so many other people.
Yeah, but if I didn't waste those 2 years of my life could be so much better.
I think the important part is that you picked yourself up. People spend decades confused. You know exactly what you want in life, which is already more than most people our age.
I've already known. The execution has been the difficult part.
Knowing is difficult in and of itself.
I wanted to be seen for my accomplishments. That validation would make me happy. but I had to stop being depressed and do something first.
It takes so much courage to allow yourself to heal.
I knew that it was the reason people didn't want to be my friend. I carried the negative emotions with me everywhere. I was difficult to be around. Earlier this year, I ran into a guy I met at our college newspaper. We talked in the semester before I dropped everything. He saw me again this year. He was like, "I'm so glad that you are in a good place in your life now. Because back then, you were terrible to be around."
You didn't have to say that.
But the reason it really affected me was that he was completely right. I tried to make friends, but it never panned out because I wasn't likable. I couldn't help that I was depressed.
I know, but he shouldn't have said that. You never know what other people are going through.
Everyone knew I loved him, and I loved him. He was where I wanted to be.
Just because people like him doesn't mean he said the right thing.
I saw all of those people who were smart and sociable, and I wanted to be them more than anything. I didn't care if they were boring. They were happy. And that was everything to me.
Regardless of the whole boring thing, there are so many people like me who want to accept you as the way as you are.
I've learned that now, but after so many years of being boring, of being left out, it's hard to drop that mindset. The parts of myself, the toxic thinking, the insecurity, the mental illness, seems so big that people never wanted to be with me.
But mental illness isn't who you are. You are an amazing artist. You are a good boyfriend. You can see people for who they are. I recently met this guy in my class. I realized that we did the same type of art. So I looked him up. I saw his profile and realized that he was the real deal. While I was back at home, I was refining his art style. You could do that? You're already off to the right start.
I don't know though if I could ever reach that level. I don't know if my best will be enough. Now I have all this lost time.
You needed that time to be where you are now. If you never went through that self-reflection or took time off of school, you'd still be where you were a year ago.
I guess I'm frustrated that I'm not someone else.
How I like to see it is there have been moments in my life I wouldn't trade for anything. If I were a different person, I'd lose them. If you really think about it, we're these fleshy bodies trying to make sense of the world around us. There isn't one right way to be a blob of muscle and fat.
How poetic, June.
I mean, really, comparing one fat blob to another is pretty funny if you think about it. At least that's what I tell myself to help me sleep.
Then what happens if one fat blob likes another?
I know this is your attempt to be romantic, but I'm not feeling it.
Can't say I didn't try.
I get what you're trying to say about comparing yourself.
I could be the best version of myself starting from now, and I still don't know if that's enough. For that to happen, I need to advocate for myself the way you do.
If anything, I need your patience.
Are you thinking?
What am I thinking? We should combine ourselves to the form of the perfect person.
Learn from each other?
Oh. This is awkward.
I would love if I could first talk to people more.
I would love if I didn't blabber so much.
We would make a great person.
Agreed.
This is actually a very cool mechanic. I see my neighborhood streetlight.
Why's that?
When I was about to go off to college, I'd lie under the streetlights with my friends. We talk about life.
Ah,
I spent my whole life wanting to see more city, more people outside of my bundle. But once I left, I realized that there was actually so much life already in my hometown, as suburbly as it is. You always call it boring. That's the point, really. Can't go out, so you lie under the streetlights and talk about life and why you're scared of the future and all that.
when there's nothing to do, you may as well share your deepest hopes and dreams. I like to think that a great scholar said that.
Who would this great scholar be?
Me. I said this. Same.
Well, scholar or not, I think you're right. A lot of my secrets were shared under a streetlight at night.
The stars hold all of our secrets.
That's pretty intimidating.
The amount of times I've shared my secrets because it was late at night and I was in my feels is embarrassing. Then the next morning I'm like, mistakes were made.
How is it that I'm relating to this girl? I know the feeling.
There was this one time I liked this guy and we were messaging late at night. I just started sharing my entire life story because I was like, he's going to get all my life trauma and fall in love with me. But then he ended up ghosting me.
You share your life story at all times of the day.
Yeah, but I think because I was exhausted and I convinced myself that we were soulmates, that he was destined to be like me.
That's a lot of hope to have.
Yeah, but I hope on things that aren't meant to be.
Duly noted.
No, but like, I want to prove that cynical part of me wrong.
But I never do. You always talk about how little you behave in things, but you really are one of the most secretly hopeful people ever. You took a chance on our relationship when any average cynical person wouldn't.
I did think about what I was doing for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, but that's the action that really counts in what affects your life. That's what you should hold on to.
I see a paper lantern.
Like the ones in Chinatown?
I used to go to the I used to go to the lantern festival there every year. When I was still in Chinese school, they make us do dances. One year I was a lily pad.
That's adorable. You did so many things as a kid.
Yeah, but none of them's really stuck. I'm not doing cultural dances anymore, or really anything from back then.
Never heard of you talk about the Lantern Festival before.
That's because I stopped going.
Too old now?
My mom still goes, but you know, it'd be weird if she saw me. My friends still go, though.
Your friends know what's going on with your mom, right?
Yeah, they do. I used to be so mad at my mom, and I thought it was typical Asian parenting. At the time, I didn't see all of the special parts about being Chinese.
Like what?
Seeing a Chinese person at a party is immediately feeling at ease. It's the unspoken bond of meeting someone, sharing no words, understanding their upbringing entirely.
I've never had that feeling before.
There was this one time in the 6th grade where I was at a sleepover with the girls. We all started doing this one girl's makeup. She looked gorgeous. Everyone called her beautiful. It's Jack's time for treats. You're good. It's Jack's time for some tuna. But then when it came to doing my makeup, they made me into a little raccoon. It wasn't on purpose, but Asian eye shapes aren't the traditional Western beauty standard, so no one understood how to do my makeup. So while my friend was complimented by everyone in the group, I was a clown.
I'm sure they were trying their best.
They were, but whenever I tell the story, my Chinese friends all know exactly what I'm talking about with my eye shape. And the whole feeling ugly because you're Asian. Everyone else thinks it's a story about me being an insecure kid. But no, it's me being an insecure kid because I'm Asian.
I don't know why anyone would think Asian people are ugly.
Growing up, a lot of that has faded. But I remember being young and having this guy confide in me that he liked my friend, being like,
she's pretty for an Asian. I truly don't understand why anyone would voice that opinion, especially to you.
I used to have so much comfort in being Asian, but I don't anymore. I hate being Asian as a kid. All of the best parts of my cultural identity are no longer there because my parents and I don't talk.
I don't know, June. The way you describe yourself, your Asianness, the market, stealing fruits. It really sounds like you. You haven't let it go.
I remember these things, but they're no longer a part of my life.
Sounds like you carried them with you.
I guess.
No, really, if you ask me to describe the American experience, I'd say something general like our crazy political climate. But you describe these parts of your life with so much detail.
I just don't know if the Asian community accepts me. It doesn't help that my family is the black sheep of the Asian community.
They should understand that it's not your fault.
You know how you see your parents this one way when you're a kid, but then you grow up and you have this big realization. Your parents are actually regular people. I went through that, but realized my mom isn't even that.
Your mom is human, but your realization is more sad than humbling.
I don't think my mom is this evil person. I think she's someone who can't control her temper to the point where I can't have a relationship with her.
You can't control who your parents are.
Some people let that bad luck define them. My mom hasn't contacted me once since our big fight. Do you want this down?
I'm never going to pretend like I know what you've been through. But you've still had a rough couple of years. The fact that you still have the capacity to empathize with people, to give people your all, it's a testament that you're a good person.
I was at my friend's house for her birthday. While we were gone, her parents decorated the entire house and cooked us food. When we got back and everyone had dinner with them, my friend deserves all of these good things. But the whole situation feels more fantasy than what normal parents are like to me. Her mom asked about my parents, and it's like, what am I supposed to say? I don't speak to my parents? Actually, are they still alive?
You could put it at, we live separate lives now.
Yeah, but then I'm the one bringing down the mood. And I'm the one ruining the group dynamic because I have issues.
That's not your fault, though.
I want to go where no one knows my name, where I don't have to think about the person I'm supposed to be.
It doesn't matter how much you run. They'll catch up to you eventually. Hey, June.
Yeah?
I really hope you know how amazing, resilient, and special you are. No matter what my current situation is, I hope you know you can always talk to me.
I'll always be there for you. Miles shifts his body to lean towards mine. Our faces are so close. I can hear his breath.
You're my person.
I used to dream about what being in a relationship was like. I had all of these fantasies about guys throwing rocks at my window, making me playlists to fall asleep to. But what has happened between us is even greater than anything I could have imagined.
No matter what's happened in my life, having you here has made it all worth it.
You're worth it all.
You are the brightest person in any room.
Remember that one time you walked me home after the Father John's Misty concert?
Yeah.
You told me you wish your past self could see you now.
I remember.
I wish my past self could see me now.
Star shoots across the sky.
Did you see that?
I've never seen a shooting star before.
Can you should make a wish.
I did.
What did you wish for?
I don't think I'm supposed to tell you.
I don't think I like this rule about wishes.
You'll know what it is. You'll know what it was soon enough.
Really?
Let me tell you this. What I wished for just came true.
Just now?
I wish that I would fall in love with this summer. I would fall in love this summer. And I did. I love you.
Love you too.
Not just that, I love how you're unapologetically yourself, no matter what. I love how you dance when no music is playing. I love how you get excited over the smallest things. I like seeing your favorite food at the grocery store. I love that you have the most luck when it comes to dating, but you still took a chance on me. The worst. I love the way you say yes to all my weird ideas. I love that you get more beautiful and determined each day. I know you. I love that I get to witness your growth.
Please tell me you rehearsed that, because it was way too smooth otherwise. Oh, I did not mean to kick my computer. Just wanted to move my foot. It was getting tired. Sleeping. I fell asleep.
I did give myself a good pep talk in the mirror before tonight. Thanks for playing. No!
That was so cute!
Oh my gosh. It did not take a horror story turn. Oh my gosh. I am so happy that it didn't. Oh, that was so beautiful. I am so glad that I decided to do this for my Valentine's Day special. Oh, that was beautiful. That was amazingly beautiful. Oh. That was so heartwarming. I love that. Every minute of that game. Oh. You could tell that the emotions were real and just it's just so strong. Oh. Both of them, you could tell that both of them, even though they're fictional characters, the developer did such a fantastic job of bringing out the problems that the two characters face, of what Miles faces and what June faces, with June and her mother, and the fact that she is of an Asian culture, especially Chinese culture, and Miles being depressed. Oh man, that was fantastic. I'm not crying. I'm not. Okay, yeah, I'm crying. Oh. Both of the characters are just so relatable. And animation style is pretty. The mechanics for the constellations is absolutely gorgeous. Story itself, amazing. I love this game. It's definitely on my list of favorite romance games. Yeah, it is also free on Steam if you want to go and play it for yourself. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for coming out to my live stream today. As always, links to my social media is down in the description box below. Like, comment, subscribe if you're not already. Sending my heart and love out to each and every single one of you. Please stay safe out there. Follow CDC recommendations and wear masks, please, so we can keep the COVID numbers down. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.